year. Now we're on the date of Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the new month of Nisan. It marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Shlomo Salem Z'tl. Now I believe he passed away back in the Hebrew year Hey Tafshin Lamed Chet. That would have been around I think the late 1970s, if I'm not mistaken, and that would have been on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. He was one of the great rabbis of Aram Tzova, respectively, and much can be actually related within regards to the greatness of the great Chacham over here. So it's actually interesting. He was, I believe, the son of another great rabbi, Rabbi Abraham Salam, another great rabbi in Syria at that point in time, had a very, very prominent and great Jewish community. His mother's name was Rabbanit Sarah, and I believe he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was born in the year Tafresh Nun Chet, I believe, over there. It's actually interesting that we've related probably over a good 50 videos in this series already with regards to the great Syrian rabbis. Now, I think he would actually move to the land of Israel with his parents. His brother was another famous rabbi, Rabbi Natan Salam. And it's reported over that he was named after his mother's father, and naturally the grandfather on his mother's side. His name was Rav Shlomo Harari Raful. Remember, we've spoken about on various occasions before in this series about the rabbinic dynasty of the Harari Raful family. Especially we spoke about Rav Ezra Harari Raful and several other great chachamim of that caliber in of itself. And I believe it's actually interesting. He would actually end up during his course of his lifetime in teaching, educating in Torah. I believe, especially a good chunk of his life, he would teach in the Magen David Torah institution, Talmud Torah, for the Aleppo community, let's just say the Chalabi community in of itself, respectively, which was a very prominent and great position in of itself. And he was gifted with a great voice. He was a beautiful, beautiful singer. He had a pleasant voice, let's just say. And he was singing in there was a famous choir, I believe, which he was actually had very much parts where they were singing Shira and various different bakashot with a brilliant, let's just say the Mizmarat Haaretz. Very interesting enough, where beautiful, connecting Judaism and the kingship of Torah, Judaism, Yahadut in of itself. Now, I believe he would actually compose also various different songs, and it was printed, I believe, in the Shirei Zimra, Lechacham Chaim Shaul Abud, if I'm not mistaken, and it was under the name Shirei Shlomo. Very interesting enough. I think it actually comprised of 7 songs, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he passed away in Jerusalem, I believe, around the year 1977. Now, one of his sons was a very great rabbi, Rabbi Moshe Salem, who happened to be a very great rabbi. He actually relates over that he would actually educate in the Bnei Tzion orphanage over there, and I think that was based maybe in the Sanhedrin neighborhood. We would teach there, and in the Catalan neighborhoods of Jerusalem, very much so, really within regards to Judaism. And he was, let's say, gathering people, organizing time for studying Torah, Tehillim activity. There were songs, Jewish songs themselves, piyutim, and really helped, I believe, the orphans, especially on very much on a voluntary basis, but really was, let's just say, did huge amounts to needy stuff, and really helped the throngs of the public in of itself. Usually he would do the various chugei, let's say, activities to make people know all the songs, the bakashot, and this is all based in Yerushalayim. I believe it's actually interesting. I think for several periods, for many years, even as many as 50 years, he would sing every Shabbat afternoon until the end of Shabbat, pretty much. There was a synagogue of the Chalabi community, I believe. This was based, I think, in the Bukhari neighborhood, the Uzbekistani neighborhood in Jerusalem, place we visited on this channel. I think near the Bukhari market, and I think near Machane Yehuda in Jerusalem, various different places. And he was a master within regards to song, chazanut in of itself, respectively, all different kinds of music he was into, not just the Chalabi music from Aram Tzova, respectively, all different kinds of Sephardi music. And he was familiar with Ashkenazic music also, which is actually very interesting. So he was all round, and it's actually reported over he was among a choir of singers at the time, I believe, when the Melech Farouk from Egypt would actually visit, if I'm not mistaken. That's how much of a great voice he had. So he was very much a great rabbi, And there's actually different songs you can find on the internet with regards to the great Chacham, his brilliance with a brilliant voice that he actually had. He did various different songs, I think, for example, on Hanukkah, within Shir HaMedina, he did the Hodul Hallelu, Shir HaOlam. There was a Shir Hadash, for example. I wrote various different songs in of itself, which I recommend everyone to look into. Now, he passed away, as we stated before, around, I think it was around 1977, if I'm not mistaken. So this would have been approximately, so this would have been close to 50 years ago, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's very interesting. It was one of the great rabbis actually coming from Syria. He very much had a huge part within regards to at the time period of the Medinat Israel, within regards to the Halabi community, Aleppo community, where really it was growing and huge heritage in of itself, and really had imbued his heritage and his brilliance, especially through music. Through a musical lens. So please don't forget to light candles in memory, the 1st of Nisan. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. If you're related to any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I'd love to hear more. Send me a comment. If you feel anyone's interested in watching any of these videos, share the videos to other people also. And please subscribe to the channel. Wishing you all a great day and take care and be well. Recording here live